NBA, dominating the court with godly talent unlocked. Episode 71, a decisive battle of life and death. Conquer the world. Goddess reward upgrade. This frontcourt rebound that Wu Qinglong and Hu Weidong grabbed together is really too critical. That is, it consumes time, and at the same time makes the opponent have to foul, so that the Celestial Empire can get 2 points again. This also means that with only 58 seconds left in the game, the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team has a chance to get a 7-point difference. With only 58 seconds to end the game, a 7-point difference is enough for the Celestial Empire, Sun Jingping said very excitedly. The Celestial Empire has a great chance of defeating the Dream Third team today. Kyoto. Gao Yuanyuan clenched her fist nervously, and her fist was even a little white now. Jifu and Weigua and Lu Yayun looked at Enmu on TV seriously. Hong Kong Island. Li Jessen muttered, "Beautiful boy, give me a chance to kiss you." United States, Atlanta. Wu Qinglong was substituted, and Li Xiaoyong appeared again. After resting for a while, he is still in good condition. The referee signaled Enmu to hurry over and take the free throw. Walking to the free throw line, Enmu took a deep breath and aimed at the basket. At this time, the American fans at the scene began to make a loud noise to interfere with Enmu, and Enmu paid no attention to these noises of them. Shoot, shoot. Oh, the first penalty, the hit. Catch the ball again, shoot the ball, aim at the basket, shoot. The second penalty, the hit. 82-75. 7 points lead. All the members of the American team had cold sweat on their faces. They seemed to be really going to lose today. After Wilkins saw the change in the players' expressions, he said loudly, "The game is not over, we haven't lost yet." "See what your expressions are?" Pippin, as the most stable person among these people, also said. "There are still chances in the game, but it's only 7 points. Among these people now, only Pippin and Elijuan have won the championship. None of the rest have a championship heart." Pippin believes that when a player wins a championship, his mentality changes. Don't be surprised. This is the most basic condition for being a champion. This kind of pampering is not surprising, Pippin has. As for Elijuan, before this game started, Elijuan was also there. After playing in the first half of the game, Elijuan's mentality was still healthy. And after O'Neal was stunned by Enmu, Elijuan's mentality still did not change. When Enmu used 25 to make the gorgeous footsteps of flying Malong and Robinson under the field, Elijuan's mentality was a little unstable. When Enmu reached the final moment, he perfectly replicated Elijuan's dreamy footsteps. And after transforming the dream step into a death step, Elijuan's mentality began to collapse. Therefore, now the entire team of the United States, only Pippin has a very stable mentality and everyone else has a sense of frustration that they are about to lose. On the other hand, the Celestial Empire is here. Unity is strength. All is one. Unite and fight. Wu Qinglong sat on the bench under the court, cheering for everyone. The other players in the Celestial Empire who could still stand up all got up at this moment. They were watching what was happening. The difficult 39 minutes have passed and now there is only 1 minute left. Celestial Empire team, can it last this minute? Celestial Empire team, come on. Team Celestial Empire, come on. Celestial Empire team, come on. First of all, the sound of cheering came from the bench. Then, the sound of cheering began to come from the mouths of Chinese fans in the basketball hall of the Atlanta Olympic Games. Then, all the Chinese fans in Georgia who watched the game all stood up to cheer for the Celestial Empire team. Chinese in the United States, overseas Chinese all over the world, began to cheer for the teams of their homeland. In China, countless communities remembered the sound of cheering for the Celestial Dynasty team. Great leaders once said, "We must achieve all-round development of morality, intelligence, body, beauty, and labor." The Celestial Empire has a long-standing traditional culture and morality. The people of the Celestial Empire are known as the smartest people in the world. Beauty, the people of the Celestial Empire have a long history of traditional aesthetic culture, orthodox aesthetic concepts, and the ability to appreciate and create beauty is the best in the world. Law, the people of the Celestial Empire have been a hardworking people since ancient times. However, in terms of physique, there was no major development in the modern Celestial Empire at the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. The people of the Celestial Empire were called the sick man of East Asia. To this day, there are still people in the world who say these 4 words. Since the Celestial Empire participated in the Olympic Games, its results have improved by leaps and bounds every year. In terms of small balls, the Celestial Empire has dominated the world. However, there are always people in this world who find fault with you. What are they talking about? You guys are great at balls, and that's because they're all across the net. Table tennis, badminton, tennis, volleyball. The people of the Celestial Empire can only play with these things. Football, basketball, these balls, the people of the Celestial Dynasty can't do it. The world's most populous country can't even form a basketball team that can make the world's top 8? Can't even form a football team for the World Cup? They say that the Celestial Dynasty people are a symbol of weakness. Once it comes to a physical confrontation match, the Celestial Empire will be torn off the paper mask, expose the original form. All the people of the Celestial Dynasty who have the blood of the descendants of Yan Huang will not admit this. They are desperate to prove themselves. This is also why Zhang Weiping will recommend Enmu to enter the national team so much. Because he really wants to make Celestial Empire basketball respected. I want the people of the Celestial Empire to gain respect in the world. This is not only Zhang Weiping's dream alone, but also the dream of generations of athletes. Last minute, can the Celestial Empire defeat the world's largest basketball power, the United States? Celestial Empire basketball, can it reach the top of the world today? Although this is only the group stage, it is not the final, but so what? Can you win the group stage, but can't you win the final? Why should the throne of the world basketball keep Laomi sitting? Why does the world's #1 throne always have to let Laomi sit? The emperor takes turns to do it, and this year, he will come to my house. Now, it's time. On the court, Peyton held the ball for half the court. Li Xiaoyong knew that he could not pose any threat to Peyton, but he still started to lead the game from the moment Peyton received the ball. Peyton was not careless. He still remembered that in the first half of the game, it was this Celestial Dynasty defender who made a steal on him. Holding the ball steadily, Peyton moved to the front court. He gestured towards Elijuan and blocked Elijuan, intending to directly let Elijuan take Enmu out of the basket. "Delu, you go and follow." Enmu didn't follow out, because he knew that he definitely couldn't lead the basket at this time. Hearing this, Lu Yudong followed Elijuan to the outside line. The tactics of the American team to transfer Enmu away from the inside line failed. Peyton used the block to shake off Li Xiaoyong's defense and break through to the inside. Lu Yudong's steps were slow, and he could not keep up at the first time. Peyton drove straight in and straight to the basket. Enmu maintained a defensive posture under the basket and carefully observed Peyton's movements. He is ready to pray. Peyton quickly reached the basket with the ball, jumped immediately, and prepared for the layup. Enmu did not jump, but stretched out his arms to interfere with Peyton because jumping at this time was completely giving the initiative to the American team. Peyton can use Enmu's time in the air to perform many operations. Sure enough, after Peyton was blocked by Enmu, he did not shoot, but sent the basketball from Enmu's waist to Enmu's back. Enmu can imagine that at this time, Ma Long has definitely cut into the inner line. At the first moment Peyton made a move, Enmu turned around, stepped from the left side of the basket to the right side of the basket. Jump, prepare for defensive interference with Malone. Unexpectedly, Ma Long did not attack. He passed the basketball back to Peyton. Peyton caught the ball and smiled. This time, see how you defend. Take the ball, jump on the spot, and the basketball flies towards the rebound. On the side, a loud shout came. The god of war, Lu Yudong, rushed over, and a big hat directly nailed the basketball to the rebound. Awesome, Enmu roared. That's the team, that's what it's called, working together. Basketball cannot be won by one person alone. Only when the whole team is twisted into a rope can it truly defeat the terrible opponent. As long as united, the Xiaomi Plus rifle can still win the final victory. Lu Yudong's block killed the hope of the American team to score. Oh my god. We all underestimated the rest of the Celestial Empire. Yes, the crucial frontcourt rebounds of this game, as well as the block just now, were all obtained by other players of the Celestial Empire. If it weren't for Enmu's excellent performance before, the game might have been spoiled long ago, and maybe these players of the Celestial Empire would not have had a chance to perform. So, Enmu helped the other players of the Celestial Empire, and the other players of the Celestial Empire also helped Enmu. This Celestial Dynasty team is really terrible. At this time, there was no shortage of retired veterans watching the game, and when they saw the scene in front of them, they seemed to remember the war in the 50s. These Celestial Dynasty players have the momentum of soldiers in that war. The basketball was nailed to the rebound by Lu Yudong. However, after the rebound, it fell into the hands of Elijuan. After Elijuan took the ball, he quickly took the ball in place and shot at the basket. As soon as the basketball shot, Elijuan saw the 6-color red jersey of the Celestial Dynasty team floating in the air. Enmu, Elijuan's eyes were round. It's also terrifying. Just now he was still in front of Ma Long, and now he has moved in front of him. Enmu feels that he can't live up to Lu Yudong's nailboard hat just now. When Elijuan made a move, his feet stomped on the ground hard, and then he flew high in the air, stretched his arms and opened his giant palms. Grab the hat. Oh my god. In the last moments of the game, Enmu could even use a grabbing hat? How strong is his physical strength? From the beginning of the game until now, he hasn't rested for a minute, but in the final moments of the game, he was able to jump enough to grab the basketball into his hands. Mike, Bryant and Albert, completely crazy. The two have forgotten that they are playing. Previous statements, 20 points lead at halftime? My god, the US team didn't fall behind by 20 points at halftime, even if it was good. After 40 minutes of play, the two commentators were completely impressed by Enmu's performance. Rule the stadium. No matter what defensive methods the United States uses against him, no matter how much the United States restricts the play of Enmu, this Celestial Empire champion always finds the right way to deal with the defense of the American team. When Enmu finished this cap grabbing, the game of the American team has come to an end. Yes. With 30 seconds left in the game, it was clear that the United States could not complete the comeback. Mike, Bryn and Albert, after saying this, looked at each other, tacitly. I have to say that the Celestial Empire brought us a wonderful game. They overcame all the hardships and finally won the game. Ma Wei and I must also take back what we said before the start of the game. The Celestial Empire is a team worthy of respect. Albert also said, in this game and Mu's performance was really good, but what struck me the most was the role players of the Celestial Empire. Through their own efforts, they continue to fight for the team's victory, and the final front court rebounds and nail-board hats will remain in my heart for the rest of my life. I share Mike's point of view. This is a team worthy of respect. I think we should give them a round of applause for their struggle. At this time on the pitch, the national team abandoned the game. Time is running out. The Celestial Empire won the Olympic group stage with a score of 82-75 when the bell rang at the end of the game. There was silence in the stadium. The Chinese fan area suddenly burst into applause. This applause, in the huge arena, is not loud. However, it stung the hearts of all the fans present. U.S. coach Wilkins put down the tactical board in his hand, stand on the sidelines, clamoring with both hands, and take the lead in sending applause to the fans of the Celestial Empire. The lens, given to Wilkins to write. Afterwards, other areas in the stadium also burst into applause. A minute later, the audience thundered in applause. Under such applause, several starters of the Celestial Dynasty team all slumped on the ground. The 5 people looked at each other and smiled in unison. And Mu sat on the ground and stretched out his fist. The other 4 raised their fists in turn. 5 fists gathered together, and 5 pairs of eyes looked at each other. They laughed, but in the corners of their eyes, as if tears appeared. 5 fists, at this time, seemed to form 2 big words: unity. Unity is strength. Unity is strength. This power is iron. This power is steel. And Mu suddenly began to sing Unity is Strength. The other 4 also sang the song at the same time. Celestial Empire substitute, coaching staff, live Celestial Empire fans, all sing this song. On the World Olympic stage, this song, which belongs to countless people in the Celestial Empire, shines brightly. On the sidelines, the cameraman kept darkening his shutter. They're thinking as fast as they can. They're racking their brains to name the scene. The cameraman didn't just capture the 5 players on the field, the Celestial Dynasty players and coaching staff on the sidelines, and all the spectators standing up and singing in the fan stands were all included in the camera. Celestial win. We won. We won. We win. Such scenes are staged in countless places in the country. This is the summer vacation period in China, when students have the most time. The hard work of the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team has inspired their inner love for basketball, and they are also 190. Kyoto, Gao Yuan cried. Jifu, and Wei Guo's hand that lit a cigarette trembled slightly. One glory for the country. For the country. Glory. Lu Yayun was already lying on Wei Guo's shoulder and crying. Hong Kong Island. Li Jiasun smiled, but also cried. The fans at the match were still applauding. The Celestial Empire men's basketball team fought hard to win the respect of the opponent. Wilkins took the lead in applauding the Celestial Empire after the game. He walked up to Gong Luming and gave him a thumbs up. Casually, take the initiative to reach out and shake hands with Gong Luming. You guys won this game. I'm sure we'll continue to meet after the quarterfinals. Maybe it's going to be the final, then. We'll beat you guys. 1. Wilkins said very seriously. Gong Luming said with a smile. This time, we can defeat you, then next time, we can also defeat you. He has a lot of self-confidence. As long as there is the first time, then the second, third victory, it will be easy. It's so much simpler. After the competition, Mu was interviewed by a reporter from ESRN. The reporter said, "And you have become the big hero of this game. You are the key to winning this game. What motivated you to win this game?" And Mu did not answer, but waved his hand at the reporter. The victory in this game is not my credit alone. Without them, I couldn't have won today. What motivated us to win this game was in the song just sung. Maybe you don't understand, then I'll give you a saint. Unity, these 2 words, let us win this game. Without the coordination between our teammates, without the coach giving us tactics, we couldn't have won this game. The victory of this game belongs to the entire Celestial Dynasty team and to all the fans of the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team. The reporter continued to ask, so you cut 45 points, 21 rebounds, 13 blocks, and 5 assists in your Olympic debut. You broke many records. What do you think? And Mu replied, the Dream 3 team is a very strong team. From the very beginning of the game, I put my heart and soul into the game. I didn't care about my stats. You don't feel these things on the pitch. All you can do is keep your opponent from scoring and at the same time make sure you're scoring in attack. I was amazed to be able to put down such data. I didn't expect to get such data. The game is over, but Enmu's impression on all the fans is extremely deep. In the whole game, Enmu frantically cut down 45 points, 21 rebounds, 13 blocks, and 5 assists. Such data is unique in the history of the NBA. In the Olympic arena, which only lasted 40 minutes, it was incredible. In today's game, Enmu led the Celestial Empire to fiercely defeat the Dream 3 team and successfully reached the top of the basketball world peak. At this time, Enmu received a text message on his mobile phone in the dressing room. Lee Jessen, hey, can I go to Atlanta in a few days to give you a reward? I suddenly felt that the reward of a kiss was not enough. If you were given more, would you want it? Episode 72. Diving Goddess Guojingjing, Mentality Explosion Olajuwon. After the match, players from both sides give each other high fives. Olajuwon came to Enmu's side. Enmu looked at Olajuwon and smiled easily. Hakeem, you don't seem to be as good as me today. Also? Olajuwon looked at Enmu and suddenly wanted to beat this guy to death. This performance of yours is already a record in the world, right? He looked at Enmu and asked, I'm very puzzled why you can use my footsteps on the court. This is the biggest confusion in Olajuwon's heart. Isn't Enmu a player without skill? Why can he use it at the pinnacle of his career? Olajuwon knew that if he couldn't figure this out, he would never let go. Olajuwon believes that it is the dream foot, or death footstep used by Enmu, that makes the American team lose the possibility of chasing the game back. Enmu said with a smile, I've been learning low-level offensive steps recently. Olajuwon nodded, in your current situation, you should indeed learn the low-level offensive footsteps. Enmu still had a smile on his face. In order to learn the footsteps, I have to watch a lot of videos, and your footsteps are the first beginning of my watching videos. Enmu said in a deep voice, I have read your footsteps attack highlights many times. Although I haven't learned it all, I have figured out the skin. That footstep was just a coincidence. After hearing Enmu's words, Olajuwon was relieved. It turns out that it's just a coincidence. I thought that Enmu, this guy, directly cultivated his low-level offensive steps to a great success. In my heart, I was really relieved. However, Enmu can use that foot, which already shows that he has a very good talent in low-level foot training. And you have a good talent for attacking in the low position. Your flexibility, coordination, position, and ball feel are excellent. If you keep training, maybe you can become the second me. Olajuwon said words of encouragement to Enmu. Enmu said, I will not be the second Olajuwon, I will only be the first Enmu. After hearing Enmu's words, Olajuwon's pupils shrank. I thought that Enmu would be encouraged by himself, would thank him for his optimism, and would also ask himself some steps questions. However, I didn't expect that Enmu would say such a thing. This guy is so ambitious. Only be the first Enmu. Moreover, Olajuwon also heard that when Enmu was drafted, there was no template. Maybe he could really become the first Enmu. Olajuwon couldn't help but think in his heart. Also, Enmu looked at Olajuwon seriously. I think the loser should not say those words just now. That's what the winner should say. You, just a, loser. The last word made Olajuwon's face turn white. He was still talking to Enmu in the tone of a senior just now, but Enmu shot back at his words mercilessly, and also called himself a loser. His personality seems peaceful, but there is a kind of unruliness and wildness inside. To be honest, being choked by Enmu, Olajuwon was a little angry. However, he thought back to who he was back then. Back then, I seemed to have sprayed those long famous centers in the league all the way to my current position. He wanted to refute Enmu, but he felt that his rebuttal would only be more pale. No matter what, speak with the game. Olajuwon said to Enmu, I was careless in this game, I will seriously fight with you in the next game. I'm sure we'll meet again. In the group stage, each team plays only one game. The next time they meet, it will be the match after the quarterfinals. Enmu said, come on, Dream Team 3. Don't be eliminated by another team before you get eliminated by me. After hearing Enmu's words, Olajuwon seemed to have heard some kind of joke. Do you think there will really be a team that can beat the Dream 3 team? Our strength this year is the strongest in the world. Enmu's voice suddenly came at this time. But you guys have just been defeated by us. If you are the strongest in the world, then after defeating you, does it mean that we can already march to the universe? Olajuwon, I shouldn't have come to talk to Enmu. My mentality exploded. Whether on the field or in the post-match conversation, Olajuwon lost to Enmu. Throughout the before and after of this game, there may only be the pre-match interview in which Enmu was not present, which allowed Olajuwon to bump into a good match in front of reporters. At that time, Olajuwon said that he would teach Enmu a good lesson. However, in the game, in addition to being used as Enmu's background board, he was also used as Enmu's background board. The conversation with Enmu after the game was also at a disadvantage. The shot that pretended to be forced before the game has now become a shot of hitting the face. In fact, Olajuwon is not the worst of the game, because the worst thing is not in the arena now. He is being tested for concussion in the hospital. Smashed by such a large basketball hoop, his head was bleeding, and according to the examination of the team doctor of the Dream 3 team, O'Neal estimated that it would be a slight concussion. In this game, O'Neal played 9 minutes, and the crazy maniac cut 0 points, 1 rebound, 2 fouls, and 3 turnovers. The footage of his bloody battle was regarded by countless TV stations as a witness to Enmu's brutality. Who was the biggest loser in this game? Dream Team 3? No, because the Dream 3 team will abuse other teams in the following games to prove their position as the number one in the world. The next time they meet the Celestial Empire team, the Dream Third team will not let themselves lose. Elijuan? No, although he was blown up by Enmu, in the follow-up matches, Elijuan will definitely vent all the anger he received from Enmu on other opponents. O'Neal? Yes, it's O'Neal. He played the shortest playing time, suffered the most serious injuries in this game, and is very likely to withdraw from this year's national team due to a concussion. Most importantly, O'Neal is still the center of the Los Angeles Clippers. Before the season began, let the center of the Los Angeles Lakers smash his head. The same city derby has not even started. Los Angeles Center Derby. O'Neal has already lost. The Celestial Empire men's basketball team achieved a magnificent victory on the first day of the Olympic Games, and Mu is even regarded as a learning model by everyone. After the Celestial Empire men's basketball game is over, the leader of the Celestial Empire sports team called the coaches of various projects together and held a small meeting. The focus of the conference was called Learning from the Men's Basketball Team. The men's basketball team yesterday's game gave the Celestial Empire sports team a morale boost, which is really too big. The Celestial Empire is playing away this year, so it is a lot more difficult. In the first game of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team, it was able to gnaw off the American men's basketball team that fought at home. The level of the American men's basketball team is already world-class. This is the hardest bone in the world to gnaw. However, the Celestial Empire men's basketball team gnawed off. So, is there any reason for the team members of other disciplines not to work hard? The men's basketball team can beat the top athletes of Laomi, so why can't we? Men's basketball can be, and so can other sports. In fact, many athletes from the Celestial Empire watched yesterday's men's basketball versus Dream 3 team game. They are also part of the cheer for the men's basketball players. The victory of this competition is very motivating for all athletes. This meeting of learning from the men's basketball team won a lot of glory for Gong Luming's face. He has decided that when he returns to China, he must go to Gifu to find Enwegua to drink him for 3 days and 3 nights. The old brother, who had not been seen for decades, suddenly sent him a genius. Let Gong Luming, a rookie head coach who has just become the head coach of the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team, have achieved such outstanding results. Can he not be excited? After the game in the United States, it was 11 p.m. local time. It is morning in China, and CCTV has begun to prepare today's news broadcast materials. The Celestial Empire men's basketball team defeated the United States men's basketball team, which ranks first in the world in terms of strength, and won the first place in the group stage. This news entered the news material without any controversy. The victory of this competition, in a sense, is even more important than the first gold medal of the Olympic Games. At 7 o'clock in the evening, a set of CCTV's news network was broadcast on time. 10 minutes of national politics, 10 minutes of people's livelihood construction. When these two sections are finished, it's international news. The first news of the 10-minute international news is the victory of the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team over the American men's basketball Dream Third team. At the end, 5 players of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team sat on the court and celebrated with boxing. The picture of all the men's basketball players, coaching staff and Chinese fans singing "Unity is Strength" in unison served as the background picture of this news. This news, watching the Celestial Empire, all the audience is blood boiling. Enmu has once again become a figure in the mouths of sports fans across the country. The next morning, when Enmu and Gong Xiaobin went to the restaurant to eat together, there were people who greeted them all the time. These greeters are not only athletes from other sports in the Celestial Empire, there are athletes from other countries. There were also many female athletes who glared at Enmu. The meaning is obvious. Do you want to come to my room and sit in the evening? Enmu was watched like a giant panda. Xiao Mu, see it, you have become a celebrity, Gong Xiaobin said with a smile beside Enmu. The players on the women's basketball side, several of them came to inquire about you with me today. Saying that, he also raised his eyebrows at Enmu. Enmu knew that Gong Xiaobin was still in love with Li Xian of the women's basketball team at this time, so it was normal to get close to the members of the women's basketball team. Xiao Mu, don't you have a partner yet? How about I introduce you to a few? Enmu waved his hand at Gong Xiaobin. Brother, how do you look at my appearance? And Andy Lau. Gong Xiaobin, who was also handsome and dashing, looked at Enmu and said with a sigh, it's not much worse than Andy Lau. I even dumped your brother and me, the men's basketball team, I don't know how many streets. Do you know why I provoked you when you came to report that day? It's because you're so handsome. If you come, you will definitely take away my team grass position. Appearance and strength, there must be one to give me an advantage, right? So, I was thinking of abusing you. Later, I found out that you are handsome and can fight, then I just need to be the second obediently. Gong Xiaobin said and shook his head with a sigh. And Mu smiled and said, don't get upset. You said that with my appearance, I can still lack objects? Gong Xiaobin seemed to remember something, and suddenly said, you have studied in the United States for a year. There must be a lot of elegant things. The little girl in the United States is also fascinated when she sees you. I heard that the atmosphere of this old rice is different from our country. Tisk, American girls are open, right? Gong Xiaobin looked at Enmu with envy, and said nonstop, Los Angeles is still the Hollywood Walk of Fame. All female stars. It seems to be much better than what I want to introduce to you. Oh, it's me who made an ugly sacrifice, Gong Xiaobin said, walked to the table and buried himself in eating. Enmu also bowed his head and began to chop rice. The food in the Olympic Village is also okay, but compared to the domestic food, it is much worse. Enmu remembered that he had seen a news before. During the London Olympics, in order to ensure the food of the players, Ma Lin became the team's logistics supervisor. Women's table tennis players and coaches have taken charge of the spoon and cooked for the men's table tennis and women's table tennis players. However, it was in England, English food. Don't eat it. Although the old rice side is not good, it is much better than the dark cuisine of England. Enmu was eating, complaining that the chef's salt was not enough. Suddenly, a white bracer appeared in front of Enmu. Enmu looked up suspiciously. A little girl stood in front of her and said, Yesterday. I watched your game yesterday and played very well. This is for you. After speaking, she blushed with shame, turned around and ran towards a team quickly. After entering the team, her teammates twittered the little girl there. The little girl lowered her head a little shyly and ignored those people. Gong Xiaobin also raised his head at this time and turned to look at the team. Oh, the diving teams. That little girl. I don't know. I guess I was selected for the national team this year. Gong Xiaobin doesn't know, but it doesn't mean that Enmu doesn't know. Enmu glanced at the little girl's face just now. The queen of diving, Gu Jingjing. Xiao Mu, you have a bit of potential to attract wild bees and butterflies now. Isn't this a human calamity? Enmu kicked Gong Xiaobin's leg. You talk well. That's to describe a woman, Gong Xiaobin said with a smile. That is handsome and dashing, Mary. Anyway, as long as you describe a handsome guy, you are all described as you. He looked at the white bracer and said, people have given it to you, so take it. Don't disappoint people. If you don't take me, you'll take it. Enmu nodded, you take it. Gong Xiaobin was free and casual by nature, and when he heard Enmu let him take it, he really reached out and prepared to take it. Enmu swallowed the food in his mouth and continued, it seems that after we train today, it will be a training hall for women's basketball, right? I'll leave a little later and contact Sisterly Xian. Let's just say that a little girl admires you and gave you a bracer. Gong Xiaobin's hand that was originally stretched out to the bracer slowly retracted. You take. I still lack this bracer? Who is rare? Tomorrow I will ask Li Xian to send me 2 bracers. Enmu reached out and put the bracer into his pocket. Alas, people are too good, and there are really too many troubles. Don't take this bracer. How ugly the little girl's face is. Give it to Gong Xiaobin. Enmu glanced up at Master Gong. He was not worthy. Well, then it's better to take it yourself. I'm not scum, I just want to give this bracer a home. After eating, I immediately went to the tactical conference room for a meeting. Tactical meetings in the morning, training in the afternoon, and games in the evening. This is basically the life trajectory of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team at the Olympic Games. In the next game, the opponent of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team is Angola, from Africa. He is the weakest opponent in the group. Of course, this is only relatively weak. In fact, they are now the basketball overlords of Africa. Enmu from later generations knows that Angola has never fallen out of the top 3 in the African Basketball Championship from 1989 to 2013. Moreover, there are still 11 years of non-championship championship gold medals. In the original history, the Celestial Empire men's basketball team only won Angola by 3 points in the group stage. Before Enmu, Gong Luming attached great importance to this game. However, after the Celestial Empire won the American team yesterday, the difficulty of this game against Angela against the Celestial Empire men's basketball team also began to plummet. After the tactical meeting, the Celestial Empire men's basketball team practiced in the afternoon. During training, Enmu clicked on the black basket system to check his glory points. Yesterday he defeated the United States and won 100 glory points, then broke the Olympic men's basketball record. The youngest Mr. 40 points, 50 glory points. The youngest Mr. Triple-Double, 100 glory points. The difficulty of getting the youngest triple-double, it's too perverted. The American Dream Team has participated in so many Olympic Games, and only James is there. 10 plus 10 plus 10. At the 2012 Australian Olympics, he won an economic triple-double of 10 plus 10 plus 10. Therefore, the system believes that getting a triple-double, and still the youngest triple-double, is difficult and beats the United States team. Therefore, the glory points settled by the system to Enmu are the same 100 points as defeating the American team. Complete system tasks, plus career achievements, and get a total of 250 glory points? This number. How unlucky. Play Angela well next time and see if you can achieve any other career achievements. Otherwise, this number is too embarrassing. Noon. Ask for review votes. Ask for automatic subscriptions. Don't worry, you won't write the number of words in a game with a team like Angela. Just mention it casually and skip it. The plot of the Olympic Games is not for the number of water words. but to make the protagonist's strength have a more reasonable improvement. We hope you all continue to subscribe to support. I also received an editorial notice just now. PK is recommended. I will try to explode it. Flowers, the evaluation vote has not risen for several days. I hope you can vote more data. Episode 73, The 5 Olympic Rings Mission. Lee Jason arrives in Atlanta to cash in the award. After finishing the match against the United States on July 29, the Celestial Empire took a day off on July 30. After a day off, the U.S. team started their second game. In the second game, the opponent of the United States team was Kuroko. O'Neal will not play this game. He was diagnosed in hospital with a mild concussion. In North American sports, concussion protection is very strict. Even a minor concussion has to go through red tape to get back on the field. O'Neal at least couldn't get back to the stage in the group stage. The rival of the American team, Kuroko, was the silver medal team at the last Olympic Games. And, before the start of the game, Kuroko was very confident. Since the Celestial Empire won the game, then we should also be able to win the game, right? Even if you can't win, isn't it okay to play a difficult score with the American team? Before the start of the game, at the pre-match press conference, Kuroko's 19-year-old point guard, Gordon Jirasek, said, "We are stronger than the last edition. I'm also more experienced. We think we have the strength to compete for gold medals at this year's Olympics. Kuroko, we are about to leave our own glory in the history of the Olympic Games." The American team, after hearing Kuroko's crazy speech, was completely furious. Originally, they were defeated by the Celestial Dynasty team yesterday, and they were holding a wave of anger in their hearts. Today, it was provoked by players from Kuroko? Well, prove yourself with this game. Before the game began, the head coach of the American team, Wilkins, said, "We must show the world that our American basketball is still the #1 position in the world. Tigers also have naps, and the last game is when we nap. This game, we are going to read dash the tiger roaring mountains." All the players in the dressing room were stimulated by Wilkins' words. In fact, Wilkins' words still have a bit of a word in them. After all, did the US team really nap in the last game? Absolutely nothing. O'Neal and Olajuwon were beaten like that by Nmu. Can they still be called naps? What did Wilkins look like when he was angry on the sidelines, and can it still be called a nap? They're just glorifying their last defeat. They want the world to know that they are still the highest basketball nation on the planet. First, use some words to alleviate the embarrassment of being eliminated by the Celestial Empire in the last game. Then, use this game to prove your strength. Besides, now Kuroko's young man, the 19-year-old point guard, still said wild words before the game. Do you really think that the 19-year-old nameless point guard and the 19-year-old Celestial Empire leader Nmu are on the same level? Wilkins again stopped Peyton before the game began. "Gary, I don't want to see that kid finish an assist. Remember? Not a single assist can get him done." Peyton nodded very vigorously, and there was a bloody look in his eyes. Last game, Peyton was equally aggrieved. This bloodbath of Kuroko is what all the players of the Dream Team used for 250 to vent their emotions. The competition officially begins. The Dream 3 team took the basketball first. Olajuwon asked for the ball directly in the low position, mercilessly gave the center of Kuroko a dream footstep, turned silky, and finished the attack with a one-handed chop. Kuroko offense and point guard advances with special balls. Peyton posted it directly the moment he caught the ball. Strong physical confrontation makes it difficult for Kuroko's young point guard to dribble. The moment he passes, the glove comes out. Directly steal the basketball in the hands of Kuroko's 19-year-old young point guard, Gordon Jirasek. Completed a wonderful aerial connection with Pippen. This offensive and defensive round is the basic situation of this game. Kuroko was the silver medal team at the last Olympics though, although it is only one place behind the American team in terms of ranking. However, everyone knows that there is a huge gap in strength between the two teams. If we say, Kuroko is a team at the T1 level, then the Dream Team will be the highest strength team in the T0 sequence. In the half game, the United States managed to lead Kuroko by 20 points. At this time, many people suddenly remembered the situation of the American team's last game. Many fans thought they could lead by 20 points at halftime against the Celestial Empire. As a result, these fans were all slapped in the face. The Celestial Empire proved themselves with their own strength. At halftime, the Celestial Empire was even leading. The United States lost the first game in the end. After the game, the American team was made by many media, and the Dream Team is no longer the strength of the world's #1 team. In the next match against Kuroko, the Dream Team is likely to face a second Olympic defeat in this section. But in today's game, the Dream Team really proved themselves. They withstood the pressure and took a 20-point lead just halfway through the game. At halftime, all the players of the Dream Team were very relaxed. If you look closely, there is also a trace of painful memories in their relaxed expressions. That's what the Celestial Empire players left for them when they played. Wilkins entered the dressing room and said to everyone again, "In the second half, we still have to play our momentum. A 20-point lead at halftime is not enough. I hope by the end of the game we can win more than 30 points against the opposite side. We want the world to know that the supremacy of the United States in basketball cannot be shaken." The second half of the game started again, and the offensive and defensive level of the American team has improved again. Pippen and Peyton almost blocked Croatia's outside line. The only one who spoke out before the match was 19-year-old Gordon Jirasek. As early as 10 minutes into the first half, he was pressed to the bench by the head coach of Croatia because he was prevented by this child by Peyton to autism. The kid played 10 minutes in the first half and handed over 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, and 5 turnovers. Either he was tackled by Peyton or he was forced to pass the ball, and he still hadn't made a successful pass. With such a high-intensity game, the United States team finally won the game with a 36-point difference. After the game, the players of the American team did not celebrate in excitement, because they know that this game is nothing. The victory of this game is not worth celebrating. When to defeat the Celestial Empire, it is when these people begin to celebrate the victory. This game also allowed the American team to truly prove itself. They're still that fantastic team. After the United States finished their game with Croatia, the match between the Celestial Empire team and Angola also started the next night. In the past few days, there are many things about basketball in the world, that is, NMU, the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team, and the American Dream Team. Since the Dream Team defeated Croatia, some fans felt that maybe the match between the United States and the Celestial Empire was really just a mistake. American fans, after the team has won such a big victory, are optimistic that the American team can beat the Celestial Empire the next time it encounters. Some fans said that the game of the Celestial Empire playing the Dream Team was because the outside players felt explosive and too accurate. Lee Xiaoyong made 4 3-pointers from the outside, and Hu Weidong also made 2 3-pointers. Counting the others, Celestial Empire made a total of 8 3-pointers. If Anmu's 45-point score is subtracted, the rest of the Celestial Dynasty players have a total of 37 points. Of the 37 points, 24 came from 3-pointers. In other words, the Celestial Empire players just feel good. Once the hand feeling encounters a crisis, then there will be Anmu on the inside line alone to support one. American fans unanimously believe that in this game in Angola, the feel of the outside line of the Celestial Dynasty will be tested. If their hands feel cold, then the next time the Celestial Empire versus the United States, it will be the moment of the victory of the United States. What kind of performance can they play against the equally fierce defender of Ongera? On the 31st, the last day of July, the Celestial Empire ushered in the second match of the group stage. Celestial Empire versus Angela. Before the start of the game, Gong Luming specially arranged tactics for outside players. Of course, this is not an arrangement he made for the sake of gambling. Instead, he wants to let the outside line of the Celestial Empire strengthen his external offensive ability and improve his scoring deterrence. In this way, the next time you meet the American team, you can let the players on the outside open up the offensive space on the inside for Anmu. Reduce the number of times Anmu is trapped, so that Anmu's ability can be maximized. The game begins. Anmu immediately made a quick attack after jumping the ball at the beginning, and Angela's players blocked Anmu for the first time, but was flashed by Anmu with a light and flexible running position. Rush to the basket and go straight to the basket. 2-0. Angela attacked, and Lee Xiaoyong constantly used his body to confront Angela's defenders. This is a good opportunity to exercise his ability to fight, and Lee Xiaoyong will not give up. In the last game, he was blown up by Peyton on both the offensive and defensive ends. In the past few days, he has been watching the video of that day repeatedly, looking forward to quickly improving himself in a short period of time. At the beginning, after Wu Qinglong fought to grab the front court rebound, he said to Anmu, "Drag you back." Although Anmu said that there is no relationship, everyone is a teammate, so he should not say such a thing. However, the other men's basketball players heard it. They were also uncomfortable, watching Anmu fight with the Mi domestic line with all his strength on the inside and watching Anmu look like he was about to collapse at the end of the game. The men's basketball teammates felt like a stone in their hearts. Although among the 12 people in the men's basketball team, they had the shortest time with Anmu, but they all like this cheerful and handsome little brother very much. They want to do something for Anmu. Improve yourself and share the pressure of Anmu. This is 10 other people, who held a small meeting while Anmu was away. The remaining person who didn't go was Gong Xiaolin, because Gong Xiaobin and Anmu are in the same room, and this guy never leaves the room. Even if I go to dinner, I go to the restaurant with Anmu. So no one else could find an opportunity to let Gong Xiaobin come out alone for a meeting. Angela defender, under Lee Xiaoyong's defense, actually made a dribbling error. Lee Xiaoyong controlled. After good basketball, passed the ball to Hu Weidong. Hu Weidong rushed straight to the basket with the help of Anmu's blocking, and steadily scored the basketball after the confrontation. Beautiful. Hu Weidong makes a wonderful breakthrough. Get a second goal for the Celestial Dynasty team. When it comes to playing against the American team, the players of the Celestial Empire need to rely on Anmu. But in this game, the Celestial Empire was still able to play a back and forth with Angela. Even without Anmu, this game is historically won. In this game, Anmu did not play much time. He played a total of 22 minutes, efficiently slashing down 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks. According to Gong Luming's meaning, He wanted to give Mu enough rest time to face the strong enemy in the future. Similarly, let Mu's substitute Wang Zhizhi feel the atmosphere of the World Series this year. Wang Zhizhi, who is also 19 years old and 3 months younger than Mu, is also coming to the World Series for the first time. Wang Zhizhi's talent was also outstanding, and when Mu led the team to make it 48-35 in the first half, after the Celestial Empire led by 13 points, Gong Luming put Wang Zhizhi on it. Wang Zhizhi made his Olympic debut, but he was not nervous at all. Perhaps this is because, in the usual team training, the object he has to defend is Mu. After all, Mu blew out Elijuan and Oni in the last game. Wang Zhizhi usually defends a center of Mu's level, but after arriving on the field, the defense of Angela is still nervous? Wang Zhizhi played very well, successfully defending several back shots of the center of Angela. Wang Zhizhi, who played 18 minutes, cut down 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks, and handed in a good answer. Wang Zhizhi scored 8 points, including 1 goal, which was scored by using his excellent footwork. This footstep immediately stunned the fans at the scene. When playing against the United States, Mu used a gorgeous back to hit his feet. Did his substitute have such a good foothold in this game? There are a lot of NBA team scouts watching the game, and they are all screening talent. Wang Zhizhi's name first appeared on the list of NBA scouts' notebooks. This is 2 years earlier than the original history, when Wang Zhizhi appeared in the NBA Scouts notebook. In this game with Angela, the defenders of the Celestial Empire are very powerful. Li Xiaoyong hit 3 3-pointers again. Hu Weidong scored 15 points. Wu Qinglong and Li Nan also had very wonderful drops. And those American fans who originally wanted to verify the strength of the Celestial Dynasty's outside players were once again slapped in the face by the strength of the Celestial Dynasty players. After the match with Angela, Celestial Empire faced Argentine back-to-back compared to Ongera. Argentina is a more powerful team, because in a friendly exchange match in 1994, Argentina only sent some of the main plus youth team players to win the men's basketball national team. However, after having Mu, all these problems seem to be solved easily. Argentina's great thing is in the strikers. Therefore, Gong Luming directly made adjustments to the lineup. He boldly put Gong Xiaobin in the substitute lineup and did not replace Liu Yudong. Instead, Wang Zhizhi, who is only 19 years old, played as a power forward. However, after the game began, Wang Zhizhi's task was to protect the rim under the basket. The task of going out to assist in the sweep was handed over to Mu. Mu's movement speed can completely guarantee that all his defensive areas are within the 3-point line. Argentina's original dominant forward line was also wiped out under Mu's defensive sweep. When Argentina wanted to strengthen his inside center attack, he found that he couldn't beat Wang Zhizhi. Wang Zhizhi's downward strength has made great progress in the sparring with Mu. Moreover, Wang Zhizhi only needs to withstand the first 2 back collisions of the Argentine center, and then Mu's supplementary defense will come. Under this arrangement, the inner defense of the Celestial Empire can be called unsolvable. Later, Argentina planned to strengthen his outside attack, but before, the ball was constantly given to the forward and inside lines, causing the back line to feel cold. And Hu Weidong and Li Xiaoyong's defense is not so weak. One wrong step by Argentina leads to one wrong step. In the end, with a score of 88-70, he lost the Celestial Empire by 17 points. Mu's play is still strong. Played 36 minutes, he finished with 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Due to leaving the basket, the blocking data did drop. However, because the defensive area is concentrated in the mid-range area, his number of tackles reaches 5. Wang Zhizhi played 28 minutes in the game and had 6 points and 6 rebounds. His main task today was not to score, but to defend him and let the Argentine center who was opposite him score only 4 points and had done his job very well. After this game, Wang Zhizhi also appeared in the notebooks of more and more scouts. After winning this match, the record of the Celestial Empire has become 3-0, and it is certain that they will qualify for the group stage. In other words, now the Celestial Empire is already the predetermined top 8 in the world. This is a new record in the history of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team. It is the best performance of the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team since entering the Olympic Games in 1984. Moreover, they may continue to move up this ranking. On August 2nd, the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team faced the 4th opponent in the group stage, Croatia. This game is also a victory. However, Croatia's strength is really strong. Their guard group is very good, was abused by the United States for 10 minutes some time ago. And the substituted Jirasek is also an NBA-level player in the future, playing 6 seasons in the NBA. At the same time, Croatia also has Kuroko, a member of the Bulls dynasty, and center Dino Radega, who is averaging 18 points and 9 rebounds per game for the Celtics. At the beginning of this game, the Celestial Empire did not play well. The outside shot options are very bad. After Gong Luming found out, he made adjustments as soon as possible. Replace Hu Weidong and Li Xiaoyong, and replace Wu Qinglong and Li Nan. The offensive focus shifted to the inside, and Gong Xiaobin used his speed and agility to single Kukock's goals. At the same time, Enmu also began to practice the steps he learned from Gong Xiaobin on the spot under the defense of Dino Radgar. The strong power makes the slightly young footsteps exert a lot of power. Claudia had to let Dino Radega and Kokochi bag Mu. Once Claudia started rapping, they fell into passivity. Lu Yudong and Gong Xiaobin went online together and played their stable mid-range shots. The two power forwards, under the deployment of Gong Luming, allocated playing time and scored a total of 26 points. Enmu played very teamwork this time, only scored 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks. In the end, Celestial Empire defeated Croatia by 7 points at 82-75. After this match, the Celestial Empire has ushered in 4 consecutive victories. That is, after this game, the system issued a task to Enmu. Mission name, Olympic 5 rings. Mission description, 5 consecutive wins in the group stage. Mission reward, 300 glory points. So, what does the 5 rings have to do with 5 consecutive wins? The 5th match of the group stage was against Lithuania. Lithuania led by Sabonis, the roof of the world. This is a team that Enmu believes is second only to the American team in strength in this Olympic Games. Their defender, Matthew Leonis, is known as the pioneer of European defenders. The European step was brought to the NBA by Matthew Leone. August 3rd, a normal morning. Enmu was in the middle of a tactical meeting, but received a phone call. The phone is connected. Lee Jessen's voice came. "Hey, beautiful boy, I'm in Atlanta." Enmu wondered, "Why didn't you tell me in advance?" "Of course, I want to surprise you. I'm here to give you a reward." Reward? Oh, when Lee Jessen said that she had beaten the United States, she would give herself a kiss. Later, she said that she didn't think a kiss was enough. So how far does it take? While Enmu was thinking, Lee Jessen asked again, "You hurry up. I'm right in front of the Olympic Village right now. This big sun, so sunny." Episode 74. Shin, I'm really not a scumbag. Dual Pinnacle Standing Pottery Bowl. Outside the Olympic Village, Lee Jessen looked at the inside of the Olympic Village with the sun above her head. She originally wanted to go in to find Enmu, but the Olympic Village did not allow her to enter casually. Athletes must be present to enter. Therefore, she could only call Enmu outside, waiting for Enmu to come out and pick her up. On the other side, after receiving the call, Enmu walked to the tactical conference room and asked Gong Luming for leave. Then he walked quickly towards the entrance of the Olympic Village. On the way, he met Guo Jingjing. "Brother Mu, what are you going to do here?" Guo Jingjing looked at Enmu curiously and asked. Enmu said, "A friend came to Atlanta to see me, I will pick it up." Guo Jingjing blinked his eyes and said, "Then I'll go with you, right?" Enmu was slightly stunned. "Why are you little girl so self-cooked? Didn't I just take your bracers? Why do you want to follow me to meet friends?" Since the last time Guo Jingjing sent him a bracer, the two have not seen each other a few times in the past few days. Even when we meet, we just nod our heads and say hello. However, if you accept someone's bracer, you can't ignore them. "But you want to go out with me? I can't agree to that. If only this friend were a man, but this friend is a woman. If only this friend were an ordinary friend, but she is not an ordinary friend. Female friends who are not ordinary friends, can Guo Jingjing see?" Moreover, Guo Jingjing's careful thinking, and Mu can also see that she gave it to herself and you floated in the bottle. So, let her follow her to see Lee Jessen? This is impossible. Moreover, Goddess Lee also said that it was for herself to cash out the reward. With Guo Jingjing by his side, how can he still want a reward? Quiet. And Mu opened his mouth, wanting to say more, but didn't know what to say. At this time, a girl suddenly ran over, who should be Guo Jingjing's teammate. "Jingjing, the coach is looking for you. Where did you run? Hurry up and hurry." After speaking, she pulled Guo Jingjing and was about to run towards the Olympic Village. Guo Jingjing didn't move. She looked at Enmu. "Brother Mu. Jingjing, you see, this is too unfortunate." Enmu said with a look of remorse, "I originally planned to introduce you to this big brother. Since your coach called you, then I won't delay your training. When I get back, I'll bring you a small gift." After Guo Jingjing heard Enmu's words, she looked at her teammates who came over and called him. His expression darkened, and he bit his lip and said, "Okay then." After that, she ran towards the Olympic Village with her teammates. "Bye." Enmu smiled and waved his hand at Guo Jingjing. Guo Jingjing asked her teammates while running, "What is the coach looking for me?" "Brother Mu said it. He originally planned to take me out to play. It's been destroyed now." "Humph." Guo Jing snorted quietly. The teammate said, "It seems that the coach said that you should practice the technical movements of the 10-meter platform again." "Oh, it's a pity. The next time there is no one around, Brother Mu. I don't know when it will be." During this time, Guo Jingjing has been looking for an opportunity to talk to Enmu. However, when he met Enmu, he was always with his teammates, or Enmu had Gong Xiaobin by his side. There is almost no space for two. Today I finally found such a good opportunity, and was destroyed by the coach on the other side. Enmu strode out of the Olympic Village. Standing on the street, I looked and saw Lee Jessen wearing sunglasses. Beautiful boy, I haven't seen him for a few months, and I'm a lot more handsome. Lee Jessen walked up to Enmu and said. While speaking, she also covered her forehead with her hand. Obviously this big sun is a little poisonous. Seeing this, Enmu pointed to his shadow and said, you stand in my shadow. After Lee Jessen heard Enmu's words, she obediently stood in Enmu's shadow. And Zai, I didn't expect your shadow to have this effect. Enmu stretched out his big hand to take off Lee Jessen's sunglasses, and said, it's not anyone's shadow that has this effect. Enmu is 213 tall, and the sun shines on his body, which can form a shadow that is enough for Lee Jessen to stand at 172 centimeters. This solved the problem of Lee Jessen's exposure to the sun. Anze, how long can you come out? Lee Jessen asked. Enmu replied with a little regret, the coach gave me a morning time, and I will go back before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The management of the national team is very strict, especially when playing abroad, and the strictness of management is close to military management. After all, the United States is different from the country, and Laomi is not a safe country in fact. It is good that Gong Luming can give Enmu a morning vacation. If it were someone else, Gong Luming would definitely not take a holiday. Oh, Lee Jessen agreed sullenly and said, people originally wanted to go with you to see the night view of Atlanta. Enmu touched her hair. How long can you stay in the United States? Lee Jessen said, about a week. Enmu nodded and said, then I should be able to wait until the end of my Olympics, and after the Olympics, I can accompany you. Lee Jessen nodded, then I can wait, you can't lie to people. Enmu, when did I lie to you? I never lie. Lee Jessen shrugged her nose and said, then since there is only one morning holiday, then don't waste time, hurry up and play. I used to go to Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, and other cities when I came to the United States, and I really haven't been to Atlanta. Atlanta is a southern city with brighter and more vibrant colors than northern cities. The building also shows a gap with the north. Compared to Los Angeles, New York's big cities, it is very livable. In fact, Atlanta has become one of the destinations for the wealthy to live in health. Walking in Atlanta, Lee Jessen's complicated mood of filming on Hong Kong Island suddenly got peaceful. Anze, I've been so tired lately. The two sat in the taxi, and Lee Jessen lay on Enmu's Huaishan and said. Enmu asked, are you tired of filming? Lee Jessen nodded and said, every day except for the crew is the crew. The only thing that makes me happy at night is when I call you. Every woman has the softest place in her heart. And when this woman shows you the softest and most vulnerable places in her heart, it means she's already starting to fall in love with you. Enmu stroked her head, and was just about to speak, but found that Lee Jessen had fallen asleep. Sir? Mister? To the place, the driver said to Enmu. The rental stayed at the entrance of Atlanta Park. Enmu looked at Lee Jessen, who was still asleep, did not wake her up, and said, let's continue to drive around the park. The driver smiled and did not refuse the guest's request. Anyway, give money, and the park is very good here. Driving around here is a very easy thing. At the same time, the driver also praised Enmu. Sir, you are really a gentleman. Enmu smiled, thank you for the compliment. After the car, after a few circles around Atlanta Park, Lee Jessen's eyelashes blinked. Then he opened his eyes and found Enmu staring at him. Ah, she exclaimed, how long have I been asleep? Enmu calculated and said, it's been about half an hour. Lee Jessen raised her wrist, and the time on the lady's watch had changed from 9 o'clock when she went to find Enmu to 10:30. Ah, I wasted all my time sleeping? Lee Jessen patted her smooth and white forehead, looked at Enmu with disgust and asked, why didn't you wake me up? Enmu replied, seeing that you are so tired, your complexion is not very good, so I can't bear it very much. After Lee Jessen heard Enmu's words, although she still had a complaining look on her face, there were sweet waves in her heart. Let's go. At this time, the taxi just stopped at the gate of the park, and Lee Jessen stopped the driver and prepared to pull Enmu away. Enmu was ready to pay for the car, took out his pocket, and said with some embarrassment, cough, I forgot my wallet. Lee Jessen rubbed her somewhat numb legs, then handed her bag to Enmu and said, find your wallet yourself. Enmu found the wallet and paid for the car. Let's go. He walked to Lee Jessen's side and said. Lee Jessen just woke up, her little face was slightly red, and she pouted and said, my legs are numb, and I can't walk. Shoo. Enmu walked to Lee Jessen and leaned down. Come up, I'll carry you. Lee Jessen and jump on Enmu's back with a grin. I already knew that I wouldn't be lazy, and I should have called this chick up when I got to the place. That way she won't have numb legs, and I won't have to carry her. Enmu carried Lee Jessen forward while thinking in his heart. Why didn't the handsome guy wake up Lee Jessen when he arrived at the place just now? 20% is because she feels sorry for Lee Jessen and can't bear to wake her up. The remaining 80% is because I simply want to walk half an hour less. But unexpectedly, the final result was that Lee Jessen slept for too long, resulting in numbness in her legs. Not only did he not steal to be lazy, but he had to look at her with his back. And handsome guy will not say, what's wrong with the numbness of the legs, just walk around. He is clear about his positioning. I'm not a straight man, I'm scum. I'm a warm man. Enmu walked with Lee Jessen on his back for a while and asked, legs are not good yet? Lee Jessen said behind him, people suddenly feel that they are too tired to walk on their legs. And Mu smiled and said, then you'd better not come down for the rest of your life. Lee Jason hammered in Mu, hate. And Mu said as he walked, beautiful girl, you can't just let me walk on your back. Have you forgotten why you came? And Mu waited for a while, but Lee Jason did not speak. He was about to look back when suddenly 2 slightly cold lips pressed against Mu's face. After the lips left Mu's face, blah blah blah, so salty. Hey, this is sweating because of your back. You dislike me? Nope, then do it again. Don't, then I'll put you down. Panichi. It's about the same. The two walked while enjoying the view of the park. Lee Jason raised her hand and looked at her small watch. Ah, it's already past 11 o'clock. But it's not been long since I left. Come back later, go eat first. And Mu put Lee Jason on the ground, and the two walked to the exit to take a taxi again. After coming to the city, I found a good restaurant to eat. Before entering the restaurant, and Mu saw a Bailey Gold pen store. Wait, I'll go buy something. Lee Jason asked suspiciously, what to buy? And Mu pointed to Bailajan's signboard, pen, who to buy it for? Gong Xiaoban, he's almost old. The two walked into the specialty store and watched Mu choose a pink fountain pen. Li Jiaoluan asked suspiciously, he used a pink pen? And Mu said with a smile, you don't know, in fact, every fierce man likes pink in his heart. Besides, he doesn't lack a pen, send him a little pink prank. Li Jason sighed, your man's heart is really terrible. After Mu selected the pen, he took out the credit card from Li Jason's wallet and handed it to the cashier. Anze, are you so unkind? And Mu said with a smile, we still need to talk about money in this relationship? This wave is called soft rice and hard eating. Li Jason smiled after hearing Mu's words. It was as if he had some kind of approval from Mu. And Mu took the credit card from the cashier and took the packaged pen, took Li Jason's hand and walked out of the store, walked to the restaurant opposite and ordered food. And Mu was looking at the menu, and Li Jason suddenly asked, you don't like pink too, do you? And Mu didn't hear what Li Jason asked, but nodded habitually. Li Jason nodded and remembered it in her heart. But I seem to be wearing black today. After eating, the time is almost up. Go back first. Tomorrow when you play the Lee Pottery Bowl game, I will send you a ticket. Remember to come to the scene to watch the ball. In front of the Olympic Village, and Mu said to Li Jason. Li Jason nodded. Before Mu left, she said, you bow your head. And Mu was puzzled, but Amin did as she said. Li Jason stood on tiptoe. Huh. Li Jason blinked and waved goodbye to Mu. After returning to the Olympic Village, Mu did not return to the dormitory. He first came to the outside of the training venue of the diving team, and waited for a while just in time to see Guo Jingjing. No, a gift for you. And Mu handed the pink pen he bought earlier to Guo Jingjing. After Guo Jingjing saw the fountain pen, small stars appeared in her eyes. She had never used such a delicate, beautiful pen. Brother Mu, isn't this expensive? Guo Jingjing looked up and asked. It's okay, I bought it for you when I look good. Then I can't ask for it, it must be expensive. I can't use the pink pen, if you don't take it, I'll give it to your teammates. After Guo Jingjing heard Mu's words, she was like a little hen protecting food. He said loudly, no, you can't give it to them. Then you can take it. Guo Jingjing opened the pen case again, glanced at the pen lying inside, and her face could not hide her love for the fountain pen. Then I'll take it. Take it. And Mu patted Guo Jingjing's little head. We're about to train, I'll go first. Okay, goodbye brother Mu. After leaving the diving team's training ground, and Mu returned to the men's basketball training hall. Xiao Mu, where did Wang go? Is there an old friend who came to you? Gong Xiaoban saw Mu come back and smiled at Mu with a squeezed eyebrow. Well, there is more than one. On the evening of August 4th, the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team vs the Litao Bull men's basketball team. This is the last game of this year's Olympic group stage, and if it can win this game, the men's basketball team will set a record for this Olympic Games. To date, no team in groups A and B, out of a total of 12 teams, has won all 5 games. Celestial Empire is very likely to become the only team with 5 wins and 0 losses. Before the game started, Mu went outside the venue to give the ticket to Li Jason. He also chose a good position, behind the side of the basket. This position will not be captured by the camera, and at the same time, you can see the situation on the field very clearly. Li Jason is wearing Mu's number 6 shirt in the national team today. Before Mu left, Li Jason took out a marker. Anze, sign me, so my shirt is the most special one in the whole stadium. And Mu took the marker and wrote his name on the shirt. Come on. Li Jason stretched out her small fist at Mu. And Mu also stretched out his fist and punched Li Jason. Go back to the dressing room, tidy up your jersey and sneakers, and bring the wrist guards sent by Guo Jingjing. At this time, Gong Luming walked into the dressing room for pre-match mobilization. Try harder. With this game, we set the best record for men's basketball at this year's Olympic Games. 5 battles are won, just around the corner, Be careful with your opponents and remember to play well according to our previous tactical meetings. The Litau Bull is a European powerhouse. The presence of Sabonis in the team is a bug. In the NBA, due to the longer three-point line, Sabonis' power on the defensive end has not been maximized. However, when it comes to FIBA, Sabonis is simply a bug. Before playing the Celestial Empire, Litau Bull also played a game with the American team. Sabonis played no less than Olajuwon. Olajuwon had 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. Sabonis had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. It can even be said that Sabonis burst Olajuwon a little. Olajuwon is still the NBA's best center, but after meeting Inmu, he was blown up by Inmu. Then, FIBA's most powerful center, Sabonis, once single-handedly defeated the American team, forcing the United States to send the Dream Team to regain its existence. When he and Inmu meet, what kind of scene will it be? Countless fans, waiting for the game. Since the Celestial Empire defeated the United States in the group stage, it has become the object of study by other teams. The Celestial Empire, which defeated the American team, will definitely become a strong rival for these teams in the future. Because they were not familiar with the players of the Celestial Empire, they put a lot of thought into the players of the Celestial Empire. Some time ago, the news that the Celestial Empire played the American men's basketball team swept the world. Almost anyone who pays attention to basketball knows that the Celestial Empire has sprung up this year and taken out the world basketball hegemon. In terms of objective conditions, the Celestial Empire is now the world's #1 men's basketball team. However, in the subjective impression of others, they still feel that although the current strength of the Celestial Empire is strong, it can only rank in the top 3 this year. Last time against Croatia, it was not easy for the Celestial Empire to win. Then, this game with the Litau Bull, Lithuania believes that it can also cause trouble for the Celestial Empire men's basketball team. Pre-match interview before the start of the game. The Pottery Bull also did not say anything that would inevitably defeat the Celestial Empire, because the last team to say so, Croatia, has already lost. And the last team to say so, the American team, was even more beaten by the Celestial Empire. The anger of the Celestial Empire players cannot be stirred, otherwise the final result will not be good. This is the consensus reached by the Litau Bull before the start of the competition. But, in the opinion of journalists, isn't it normal to show your determination to win before the game starts? Why don't you say? Is it instigating? Afraid before fighting? Is this still the Sabonis of the past? Is this still the traditional powerful Pottery Bull? Before the game starts, Liberty Bowl core players Sabonis and Matthew Leonis talk. Sarunas, Matthew Leonis, don't underestimate their outside players. They're still excellent. The reason why Sabonis was able to defeat the United States and force out the Dream Team on his own was because he was very serious about the game. Matthew Leonis nodded and said, "Don't worry, I will keep a cautious heart." The legend of Sabonis is familiar to many fans, and his nickname Roof of the World is a testimony of his strength. However, Matthew Leonis is also a player of legendary nature. Among the players who led Sabonis to defeat the United States, Matthew Leonis was also one of them. Later, because the former Sulian declared independence from the former Sulian, the players of the Litau Bull were sanctioned by the former Sulian. Since then, the opportunity to play in the Europa League has been lost. Fortunately, Matthew Leonis made an American friend while walking around Europe in his early years. Nelson Jr., the son of Nelson Sr., who was the Warriors coach at the time. Under the management of Nelson Jr., the Warriors drafted Matthew Leonis in 1987, and in 1989, Matthew Leonis traveled to the United States, becoming the first CIS player to go to the United States. In his 4 seasons with the Warriors, he averaged a whopping 18 points per game as the 6th man and twice became the second-best 6th man, proving that European outsiders can establish themselves in the NBA. Even becoming central, he used the European step technology for the first time in the NBA. The name Eurostep was also named after Matthew Leonis from Europe was first used in the NBA. What followed was the highlight of Matthew Leonis' career. In the 1992 Olympic Games, Litau Bull did not plan to send the men's basketball team to participate in the Olympic Games due to political problems. However, Matthew Leonis alone funded the gathering of teammates, contact the coaching venue, and organize training and matches. Even because of this, all the money he earned in the NBA was lost. Later, he was helped by the old Nelson father and son, and helped him contact sponsors in the United States, so that the Litau Bull could successfully appear in the Olympic Games. At the Olympics that year, although the Litau Bull lost to the Mingi team, it still won the bronze medal. Now, 4 years have passed. The situation of the Pottery Bull was stable, and the Pottery Bull was once again sent to the Olympic Games at the expense of the state. They want to go one step further than the last Olympics. In the last Olympic Games, under such difficult conditions, the Pottery Bull was still able to achieve a good bronze medal. Now with the support of the state, can't we go further? Even after the Celestial Empire defeated the American team, many people in the Litau Bull team already had confidence in defeating the United States. In any case, as long as the Litau Bull wants to compete for the gold medal, then their biggest opponents are the Celestial Empire and the United States. The United States has already finished playing on the field, and this game will face the Celestial Empire. If they can win the Celestial Empire, then in the subsequent knockout rounds, they will be more confident when facing the United States. The competition officially begins. The referee took the ball and walked to the center line, and AMU and Sabonis jumped the ball. Sabonis' bounce is already at matchbox level, and his knee has long been half lost due to high-intensity training. Enmu easily slapped the basketball into Li Xiaoyong's hand. Li Xiaoyong held the ball, and Enmu jumped the ball and quickly went down. Another opening aerial relay? Many people are watching the field, expecting Li Xiaoyong and Enmu to have another air relay connection. Enmu's speed is very fast, and Sabonis can't keep up with Enmu at all. As long as Li Xiaoyong successfully passes the ball, then it is a successful fast attack. However, Matthew Leonis stuck in front of Li Xiaoyong at the first time. Matthew Leonis' defense was very aggressive, and Li Xiaoyong could not find the angle of the pass. So the ball was given to Hu Weidong, and after Hu Weidong received the ball, he planned to pass the ball, but Enmu's empty catch opportunity was gone. Hu Weidong steadily controlled the ball to the three-point line, beckoned and played a block with Enmu. Enmu cut to the inside line after blocking, but was blocked by the power forward of the Tao Bull for the first time. At the same time, Sabonis and the Li Tao Bull quarterback wrapped Hu Weidong under the bag. Hu Weidong could not give Enmu the inside line to hang the ball. Li Xiaoyong is being entangled by Matthew Leonis. Although Matthew Leonis' defense is not as good as Peyton's, his defense is like a piece of gum that can't be shaken off. If Peyton is the Leonard of the future, so now Matthew Leonis is the Beverly of the hereafter. This constant confrontation on the off-ball end made Li Xiaoyong a little overwhelmed. Gong Xiaobin moved to the middle of the flank and received the ball in Hu Weidong's hand. After taking the ball, Gong Xiaobin singled out as a power forward for the Li Tao Bull. Back singles, consecutive back bumps. After using his footsteps and easily tapping the power forward of the Fei Li Tao Bull, Gong Xiaobin was about to shoot, but was disturbed by the small forward of the standing pottery bowl. Basketball strikes iron, jumps high. Sabonis was 221 centimeters tall, and he stuck Enmu behind him. Sabonis was about to collect the rebound, but Enmu apparently did not agree, and he moved to the side of Sabonis' body. Using the ultra-fast bounce speed and high bouncing height, Sabonis got the basketball one step ahead and then dunked towards the basket. Because it was too far from the basket, Enmu's arm span could not even dunk the basket, but fortunately, Enmu had seen Griffin's smashing dunk in his previous life. When your arm span is really not enough, just smash the basketball into it. Enmu's dunk this time did not make any roar. This goal made the fans see inexplicably. This is a buckle? Finally, someone asked in an uncertain voice. I have to say that Enmu's dunk just now is a little strange. His palm didn't even touch the basket, so he smashed the basketball directly into the basket. Maybe it's because it's too far from the basket. Even if he has an arm span against the sky, he can't touch the basket. From this ball, we can see Enmu's excellent hand. He was able to aim at the basket and smash the basketball directly into the basket. After a moment of silence, the fans finally began to react. On the court, after Sabonis saw Enmu's smashing basket, he also looked at Enmu a little strangely. Enmu said with a smile, "If you can score goals, you are good goals. If you're any shorter, I swear the ball just now is a reduction." Sabonis' tonnage and height blocked Enmu's dunk. Sabonis said, "Boy, the next time you want him to score, it's not so easy." In FIBA, Sabonis is a sideways presence. Even if Demeng is here, he won't frown. FIBA from the beginning to the present, the position of the center, Sabonis is the first. Standing pottery bowl attack. Matthew Leonis was easily in control of the ball over the half under Li Xiaoyong's defense. Although he is a white defender, he has a toughness that is different from his skin color. The elbow seemed to swing at Li Xiaoyong's body at any time, so Li Xiaoyong's defense was limited. On the outside, Matthew Leonis and Sabonis played blocking. After the block, Matthew Leonis quickly broke through into the inside line, while Sabonis chose to bounce outside. MU chose to delay Matthew Leonis, and Matthew Leonis immediately passed the basketball to Sabonis on the outside. Sabonis catches the ball and shoots a three-pointer. Oh, goal scored. Look. Sabonis made a shot from beyond the three-point line. It's something he hasn't shown in the NBA. Mike Brent said, FIBA, which is closer to the three-point line, is obviously Sabonis' paradise. He can attack anywhere, from any position. 3-2. The Celestial Empire is 1 point behind. The 90s now can be different from those of the future. Center player throws a three-pointer? It's almost impossible, but now, it happened to Sabonis. Li Xiaoyong held the ball for halftime and passed it to Hu Weidong. Hu Weidong and Enmu blocked and dismantled, and after the blocking, Hu Weidong accelerated into the inside line. After reaching the basket, Hu Weidong stopped sharply and threw the basketball high. The next moment, Enmu, who followed Niche, leaped into the air, took the basketball with one hand, and dunked it into the basket. 4-3. The attack of the Litau Bull was again initiated by the blocking of Matthew Leonis and Sabonis. The direct blocking and dismantling cooperation of the two people has always been the best tactical starting style of the standing pottery bowl. After the block, Matthew Leonis handed the basketball into the hands of Sabonis, who watched the team's movement from the free throw line. The shooting guard of the Litau Bull slipped to the basket with the help of Matthew Leonis' cover. Sabonis gave the ball to the shooting guard, who jumped up and scored 2 points easily. 4-5. Aerial architect. Sabonis showed off his passing skills. He's simply the most versatile center in FIBA basketball. Believe me, if it weren't for his political connections, he would have been as high as 31 when he entered the NBA. I believe he will break into his own piece of the sky in the NBA. Even, he has a chance to compete with Olajuwon for the position of first center forward. Our champion Yuan Lang seems to be unable to restrict this aerial architect from the standing pottery bowl. Since the start of the game, Sabonis has 3 points and 1 assist. And Mu's defense did not have any effect. The Celestial Empire attacked again. Sun Jun used cover to cut the inside line, received a pass and planned to make a layup, but was rejected by Sabonis' cap. The Litau Bull fought back and Matthew Leonis passed the ball to the small forward. The small forward took off with the ball and dunked. 4-7. Could it be that the Celestial Empire, who can defeat the American team, can't find the right way to defeat them when facing the Litau Bull? After hearing Albert's words, Mike Bryn said, "Perhaps, the playing style of the Litau Bull is restrained by the style of the Celestial Empire. In the Dream Team game, they rely more on crushing each other's physical talent, as well as excellent individual ability. But in the Litau Bull game, they rely more on the cooperation between the teams, which requires the defender to pay attention to the defense at all times and not relax in the slightest. When there is slackness, it will allow the other person to score successfully. And the basketball system of the Litau Bull is to cultivate everyone as a point guard from a young age, and everyone has excellent passing ability and shooting ability. Today, the Celestial Empire has met an opponent. The Celestial Empire attacked again, and Sabonis followed closely by Mu's side. He did not give Mu the slightest chance to attack. Huwaidong held the ball on the outside to find opportunities. The Litau Bull shooting guard also played a stockative defensive approach against Huwaidong. The Litau Bull team is full of white players, but it shows a very murderous defensive style. Huwaidong did not pay attention to the outside and was directly tackled by the other party. The defensive counterattack of the Litau Bull is fought again. Matthew Leonis rushed to the basket and faced Sun Jun, who completed the defense ahead of schedule. Europe took a step, easily misled Sun Jun's defensive center of gravity, and made a mistake, and made a layup. 4-9. In the next round, Mu asked for the ball on the inside, but the vertical pottery bowl immediately took a wrap clip on Mu. Sabonis went around to defend and the power forward blocked behind Mu. In the end, it was only Gong Xiaobin who caught the ball and shot from mid-range. Oh! The basketball hits the basket, bounces high, and misses. Gong Xiaobin shook his hand. Today's hand is not very good, and he failed to score 2 shots. The Litau Bull power forward takes the rebound. Matthew Leonis quickly controlled the ball over the half. Outside the 3-point line, Matthew Leonis and power forward blocked and combined. After passing the block, he directly chose to shoot a 3-pointer. Such a shot made the audience at the scene can't help but be surprised after seeing it. In this day and age, this kind of shooting method after blocking and shooting, they have almost never seen it. Even in the NBA 10 years from now, there will be no such way of playing. This way of playing is the most likely to appear in the player named Stephen Curry 20 years later. Such a choice is too bold, but the goal was scored. Both Albert and Mike Bryn saw the horror in their respective eyes. The super sixth man from the Warriors played much better than he did in the NBA. 4-12. The Celestial Empire is 8 points behind. This is the biggest point difference between the Celestial Empire and the Celestial Empire since the start of the Olympic group stage. Could it be that the Celestial Empire is going to encounter Waterloo today? From the very beginning of the game, they have been pressed and beaten by the standing pottery bowl. Whether it is Matthew Leonis or Sabonis, they can find the defensive loopholes of the Celestial Empire very well. And Mu, who played well before, did not have any performance in several attacks and defenses. Is he limited by the roof of the world, the aerial architect? On the sidelines, after scoring this goal in the Litau Bull, Gong Luming immediately called a timeout for an 8-point deficit, which seemed to be a bit big for the Celestial Dynasty team that had a smooth ride this year. Cheer up! Gong Luming yelled at everyone when they were down. Have you forgotten how we played before? What about the defense? What about the defense? Shrink under the basket. Don't give them a chance. When pitchers are running, be positive. Create space for yourself to shoot. Xiao Mu, create opportunities for yourself to ask for the ball. We need you to threaten the basket. Palace Lu Ming looked at Mu and said. Subsequently, he replaced Gong Xiaobin, who had a poor shooting hand, and replaced Lu Yudong. De Lu. The defense that Xiao Mu involved in gives you the shooting space you create. you must not waste it. Gong Luming said to Liu Yudong before the start of the game. At this time, the audience in the United States looked at the embarrassment of the Celestial Dynasty team, and their hearts were a little happy. The Celestial Empire is now in trouble. Their team style is clearly restrained by the standing pottery bowl. As long as you find their weaknesses, then it will be easy to do. Although it is said that the style of the American team relies more on individual singles. However, this does not mean that the US team cannot play team cooperation. Olajuwon has a good passing strategy. Malone is a professional in blocking and scoring points. Pippen is an organizational striker. Pence Hardaway is a quarterback, but plays point guard in the NBA. Peyton, like Hardaway, is a finals-level point guard. The US team can't cooperate? It's impossible, they just like to score in an easier way before. Since singles can't solve the problem, it's a big deal for the American team to change its style. Win the Celestial Empire by playing as a team, huh? Celestial Empire, you guys have been seen through. At this moment, countless American fans thought in their hearts. The last time they played against the Celestial Empire, the American team was defeated by the Celestial Empire. This time, the Celestial Empire encountered Waterloo when it encountered the Standing Pottery Bowl. Then after encountering the American team that has changed the way of playing as a team, it will encounter a bigger Waterloo. Episode 75. Big Brother, spare me. Standing Pottery Bowl bench. Head coach Eunice looked at everyone and shouted, keep playing the way we just played. The style of play just now was excellent. We're going to beat them this way. Eunice is now the head coach of the Litao Bull men's basketball team. Many Celestial Dynasty fans are familiar with him, because the head coach of the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team in 2008 is also him. The timeout ends and the game continues. Celestial Empire ball. Li Xiaoyong escorted the basketball and advanced from the back court to the front court. Liu Yudong came forward to make a block for Li Xiaoyong, and after blocking it, he bounced off the free throw. Li Xiaoyong's inside breakthrough took away the defenders, and Liu Yudong received the ball. Shoot shot. The God of War shooting front sight is absolutely excellent. In a few years, he will be the CBA League's big killer times. As long as Liu Yudong can be defended to 30 points, it is considered a successful defense. This phrase will be popular throughout the CBA in a few years. Oh, goal scored. 6-12. Standing Pottery Bowl attack. Matthew Leonis and Sabonis blocked. Matthew Leonis' style of play is still sharp, and he plans to shoot a few more three-pointers while his hand is not cold. Just jumped, but saw Mu who was forced to come up. Snap. And Mu didn't even need to jump, and strode to Matthew Leonis and stretched out his hand to directly harvest a block. The big hand picked up the covered basketball, and Mu strode towards the front court. Matthew Leonis followed behind Mu. In FIBA, tactical fouls are not allowed. If an opponent player fouls on a fast attack, he will be awarded 2 free throws, serve. Therefore, Matthew Leonis could only watch Mu rush towards the front. None of the inside lines of the Litao Bull could keep up with Mu's speed. Even Matthew Leonis could only e-dash after Mu. Stride to the free throw line, jump with your knees bent, and stretch in the air. Mu glides through the air in an aesthetic and violent way, dunking the basketball into the basket. 8-12. The Celestial Empire has obviously improved on the offensive end after returning from a pause. Sun Jingping's voice was very happy, and Mu's free throw line jumps and dunks, which shows that he was not defeated by Sabonis. The counterattack of the Celestial Empire has arrived. The Pottery Bowl attacked again. There is an empty position in the small forward running position, and the shot does not score. Under the basket, Sabonis actually got a second rebound with his height. He was not in a hurry, and after taking the ball, he first made a fake move, wanting to point out Faye Mu. The second offensive move is real. Snap. But just when he jumped to the basket for the second time, Mu found the basketball directly from behind him. And Mu's face had a grim smile. Your offensive moves are fake, and my takeoff movements can't be fake. The basketball was fanned and flew directly to the 5th row of spectator stands. This made Sabonis look at Mu's eyes change. Worthy of being the man who can detain O'Neal in the hospital. Sabonis' eyes were solemn. It seems that this little guy has found the feeling of the game. Be careful. Sabonis serves on the sideline, and Mu stood on the sidelines to interfere with him. Follow your own people. Don't give them a chance to catch the ball. And Mu shouted at his teammates while interfering with Sabonis' serve. The referee on the sidelines is counting down to 5 seconds of serve. Sabonis' heart was anxious, because the Celestial Empire man had completely blocked the opportunity for the Litao Bull players. Actually, there are also opportunities to catch the ball, but every time the other 4 people get a chance to catch the ball. Sabonis was distracted by Mu and was unable to pass the basketball out. 4, 5. On the sidelines, the referee's 5-second countdown is over. Beep. Lithuanian serve supermarket, Celestial Empire ball right. The referee made the penalty. Sabonis dropped the basketball in his hand in frustration. Bye. Matthew Leonis walked over to Sabonis and patted him on the buttocks. It's okay, defend well, we're still ahead. Don't be so frustrated. Just now, Matthew Leonis was still comforting Sabonis, but the next moment he lost his temper. Because, just as he comforted Sabonis, the Celestial Empire completed an attack. After Enmu got the basketball on the sidelines, he quickly sent the basketball to Li Xiaoyong's hand. The moment Li Xiaoyong received the ball, people understood. Trough? I'm empty? Pitch. After Gong Xiaobin saw Li Xiaoyong's vacant seat, he jumped up directly from the bench and shouted at Li Xiaoyong. Liao Province sharpshooter immediately shot. Hit a three-pointer. 11-12. There is only 1 point left in the difference. On the sidelines, Eunice looked at the situation and became angry. What's going on? What day to talk about on the field? What about defense? Matthew Leonis slapped his forehead and cursed secretly. Coded. Enmu's serve was too fast just now, and before he could react, Li Xiaoyong completed the shot. This time, I was careless. Crouch. Xiaomu, your pass is too awesome. Li Xiaoyong ran to Enmu's side and gave Enmu a high five to celebrate. Brother Li is also accurate. Fan oil. Look, won't you catch up with this 8-point difference in a while? Li Xiaoyong nodded and quickly moved to Matthew Leonis's front defense. Matthew Leonis had just seen the defensive ability of Enmu on the outside line. Too fast. If you block with Sabonis again, it will be easy to eat dirt. So he beckons and blocks with the power forward. Let him in. Enmu shouted at Lu Yudong and Li Xiaoyong on the inside. The two immediately defended Matthew Leonis' shot. After Matthew Leonis crossed the block, Matthew Leonis immediately raised to correct him. Matthew Leonis sinks the center of gravity to break through and shoot straight to the basket. Just now, Li Xiaoyong stole a three-pointer, which made Matthew Leonis a little up. Looking at Enmu, who was defending under the basket, Matthew Leonis directly chose to attack. Arriving in front of Enmu, the European step took another step. His European step is a bit of a virtue trail step, the perfect blend of speed and skill. Matthew Leonis can make many centers scratch their heads when they are defending, but Enmu, who has dimensional-level defensive reaction nerves, will not be like this. In his nervous response, Matthew Leonis seemed to be slowed down. His fake movements were very realistic, but Enmu did not make any moves before he made a move. Hee, silly, huh? Matthew Leonis glanced at Enmu. Enmu had never encountered such a confusing European step before. Matthew Leonis was very confident, and after passing Enmu, he made a low-handed layup with his right hand and threw the basketball towards the rebound. That is, at the moment he made a move, Enmu's big hand suddenly stretched out. Snap. Grab the hat. Under the incredible eyes of Matthew Leonis, Enmu directly completed a cap grab at him. The moment he made a move, Enmu's dimensional-level defensive reaction nerve made a judgment. Very good capture of his hand. With the basketball firmly in his hands, Enmu looked for a teammate to pass the ball. But the players of the Li Tao Bowl are very smart, and they know that the Celestial Empire's style of play has always been a little fast. In previous games against the United States, many of the points scored by Celestial Empire were made through defensive counterattacks. So, at the moment when Enmu got the basketball, all the players in the Li Tao Bowl found a man nearby to defend. Everyone rotated defensively, with center Sabonis directly in front of power forward Lu Yudong, and so on. Matthew Leonis, who was blocked, immediately stood in front of Enmu after reacting. He didn't have the luxury of being able to snatch the basketball in Enmu's hand, as long as he could delay the Celestial Empire's quick attack. No one answered Enmu. It seems that the Celestial Empire's counterattack this time is gone, Sun Jingping said with some regret, but the next moment, his voice immediately became excited. Enmu. Enmu turned around and passed off Matthew Leonis. What is he going to do? He's rushing towards the front. On the court, when Matthew Leonis was turned around by Enmu, his eyes were full of horror. Why does this Celestial Empire center have such a fast turning speed and coordination ability? If it was an ordinary center, it would definitely be late when passing him just now. We'll give Matthew Leonis a chance to steal, but Enmu's speed is too fast, and he does not give Matthew Leonis any chance at all. He was just like the road in the early morning, and he was cleaned by Enmu. Enmu passed Matthew Leonis and rushed towards the front like a heavy car. If this goal is scored again, then the Celestial Empire will completely overtake the score. On the sidelines, Eunice was a little hysterical. Stop him. Stop him quickly. After hearing Eunice's voice, the small forward of the Li Tao Bowl closest to Enmu rushed towards Enmu. He carefully observed Enmu's dribbling, and the center of gravity of dribbling was very high. As long as your hand is fast enough, you can definitely steal Enmu. The distance between the two was only half a meter, and the small forward of the standing bull immediately reached forward to steal. Bang! Before his tackle arrived, Enmu lightly wrapped the basketball from the right side and dribbled the ball from behind his back to the left side of his body. Enmu is like a defender, completing the time. This dribbling behind the back is like a 10-year point guard. This is the first time that Enmu has revealed his dribbling skills at the World Series. Whether it was the turn just now, or the dribbling behind the back, Enmu fully showed his excellent ball sense. And some people who have watched the AMU University competition, after seeing AMU's back luck, a picture suddenly appeared in their minds. It was when Enmu was wearing the shirt of Santa Clara University, and on the field of the university, Enmu had also passed the opponent like this and completed a quick attack of his own dribbling. Stop him, Eunice still shouted at his players after the small forward was passed. However, when the Litao Bowl players rushed towards Enmu again, they could no longer catch up with Enmu's footsteps. Sabonis gritted his teeth and rushed to the basket. He is the last line of defense for the Litao Bowl men's basketball team. Standing under the basket, Sabonis does not adjust your steps at any time, ready to jump at any time, and interfere with Enmu's quick attack. Enmu entered the inner line with an unstoppable momentum. His feet stomped on the ground hard, and his calf muscles were exposed. God's chosen body, plus, hammer of destruction equals, hammer of destruction, broken. Enmu soared into the sky, all his strength poured into his legs. Sabonis also jumped, raising his arms in the air. With a height of 221 centimeters, Sabonis seems to have become an insurmountable roof of the world. Back then, he used this method to make countless basket punchers smash their feathers, but today, Enmu is definitely not a feather returner. Roof of the world? Excuse me, roof of the world in the Celestial Empire. The roof of the world is the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, and Sabonis from Europe is at best the roof of Europe. In the air, the violent force of the Ammu agricultural belt descended on the roof of Europe. Thor's hammer seems to be about to smash the roof of Europe, and Mu's body has exceeded the limit of what Sabonis can cover. The next moment, both arms rushed to the basket with devastating force. Boom! The hammer of destruction smashed on the basket. Sabonis' body was slammed by Enmu's violent force, and he retreated repeatedly, directly hit the basketball hoop. If it weren't for the sponge wrapping, then Sabonis' back would definitely be hit into Yuqing. Enmu's dunk is too ferocious. O'Neal buckle at 213, Sabonis buckle at 221, and it's not a little difficult to watch. This physical talent is greatly enviable. A player as strong as Sabonis can't stand up to him if he doesn't have a basketball hoop to stop him. I think he will definitely have to step back to the spectator stands. Huh? The rebound is not broken? Aha! Basketball hoop didn't fall? After a lively discussion, such a sound came from the spectators. And after hearing such a sound, the referee also looked at the rebound, and then breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the rebound was not broken. In this way, the game does not have to be suspended. Then, the referee looked at Sabonis again, but found Sabonis squatting on the ground in some pain. What's wrong? The referee immediately walked to Sabonis' side with concern. Sabonis still squatted on the ground and did not speak. Only, his face was a little red. What happened to Sabonis? Did Enmu accidentally hurt him when he dunked just now? After detaining O'Neal in the hospital, do you still want to detain Sabonis in the hospital? After squatting for a while, Sabonis slowed down. Waving his hand at the referee, he took a deep breath and said, just now. After hearing Sabonis' explanation, the referee took a deep look at Enmu. This guy is a beast. The basket did not make any mistakes this time. It turned out to be because Sabonis suffered most of the power from Ammu. Under the impact of this force, it actually hit Sabonis directly into the chi. The score also became 13-12. The Celestial Empire played a wave of 9-0 and completed the reverse of the score. Gong Luming continued to applaud on the sidelines and raised a big finger at Enmu. The players of the Celestial Empire team also rushed towards Enmu and gave Enmu high fives in celebration. Back defense. After a brief celebration with them, Enmu hurried to shout at Sabonis before he slowed down. Just now they stole chickens and scored a goal. Now you can't make a mistake and give the standing pottery bowl the opportunity to steal chickens. Sabonis took the basketball and passed it to Matthew Leonis. Then he said to Matthew Leonis, this guy, you should go play rugby. Basketball is not something he should play. Matthew Leonis smiled wryly. He and Sabonis, the strongest duo in the Lee Pottery Bowl. When facing Enmu, I got the upper paragraph well. Enmu just grabbed Matthew Leonis on the defensive end and brutally blocked Sabonis on the offensive end. Directly let Sabonis experience a wave of divergent feelings. To be honest, the last time I felt angry was after Sabonis was hammered with his fist by his angry dad when he was 13 years old. Enmu made him feel it. Father's breath? He shook his head and shook this absurd idea out of his head. Sabonis and Matthew Leonis came to the front together. Matthew Leonis outside singles Li Xiaoyong, dribbling under the time's crotch and dribbling behind his back, while using his body to fight against Li Xiao. Li Xiaoyong's defense is also smart, focusing only on Matthew Leonis' shots. Push Matthew Leonis towards Enmu's defense range. Matthew Leonis will not fall into the mouth of a tiger. With this defensive approach, he immediately chose to stop sharply and shoot a jumper. Li Xiaoyong was ready for a long time and jumped to interfere with his shooting. The shot is disturbed, the iron is hit. Under the basket, Enmu and Sabonis play fierce card positions. The basketball hits the hoop and bounces high. Enmu threw his shoulders back, causing Sabonis to snort, and then jumped high to stretch his ape arm and collect the rebound. Sabonis clutched his chest. Are you a miniature Hulk? He asked Enmu. Why are you so powerful? The partition just now made his chest hurt terribly. In the card position this time, and Mu pressed his shoulder against his chest again. Now the chest is definitely bruised. Talent, you don't understand. When Sabonis heard the word talent, he fell silent. In fact, he also has talent. Otherwise, he would not have been able to lead the team to defeat the American team. But, if you compare your own talent with Mu's talent, I should be surrounded by everything. Wrong. I still have height. Sabonis was like a lifesaver. I'm taller than him. And Mu passed the basketball to Lee Xiaoyong, who controlled the ball for halftime. After halftime, he looked up at the basket and froze. Mr. Referee, this basket seems to be crooked. When the referee heard this, he said, impossible. I obviously read it just now. When the referee looked up at the basket, he was also stunned. Really crooked. At this moment, the 3 head coaches on the field, 9 athletes on the field, a total of 24 eyes, stared at Mu in unison. Don't think about it. It was Mu who dunked the basket just now, and dunked the basket crookedly. This is still the result of Sabonis counteracting most of Mu's power. If not Sabonis counteracting Mu's power, then this basket must be broken again. This idea appeared in the minds of countless people. If the basket could speak at this time, what would he say to Mu? Big brother, please, spare me.